My English Classroom. I'm your English teacher Sheikh Rafi. Today in this video I'm going to start the second unit from your English textbook. If you look at the index page of your textbook, you will find that in this unit there are three readings. First, A reading, which is a lesson C.V. Raman, The Pride of India. Then we have a poem as B reading. It is Change. Then the third is a C reading, Susruta, an ancient plastic surgeon. So today we will start the very first lesson from Unit 2. Let us start it. I want all of you to open page number 23 of your textbook. Children, here they have given the face sheet of this unit. So, Unit 2, C.V. Raman, The Pride of India. Look at the pictures and answer the questions that follow. So, they have given a picture here. Let us all look at the picture. Now, they have given the pictures of 6 great scientists. Let us try to identify them. The first one is very well-known figure in our country, the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The second one is Sir C.V. Raman. The third one is Srinivasa Ramanujan. The fourth one, the world famous Albert Einstein. Fifth one, Newton. And the sixth one given is Alexander Fleming. So after going through these pictures, let us see the questions that are given there. The first question is, can you name these scientists? So just now that is what we did. We have named all the scientists. The second question, tell your class what you know about them. Now that's a very basic, very important thing. They are all great scientists. Let us see one by one what these scientists are known for. The first one given is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. We know he was the former President of India. At the same time, he was also a great scientist. He was known as a missile man, right? Why? Because most of the missiles in Indian defense, they were prepared and installed by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Then the second person given there is Sir C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman is also a world-renowned scientist. He received a Nobel Prize for his invention and he is known for Raman effect. And we all know that we celebrate National Science Day in commemoration of the invention done by Sir C.V. Raman. The third personality given there, Srinivasa Ramanujan. We know that he is a great mathematician. He did a lot of things based on number theory. The fourth one, Albert Einstein. He is known for his theory of relativity. The fourth person, Newton. Of course, we know him very well for Newton's law of motions. Then the last personality given there is Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming is known for his invention of penicillin. Penicillin is an antibiotic which resulted in a change in the treatment worldwide. So that was the contribution of all these scientists. Let us see the third question given there. Are the scientists special people? How? Definitely, scientists are very, very special people. They are highly intelligent, well-educated intellectuals. Moreover, children, if you observe, scientists are the people who have the ability to change the entire world. The inventions created by them can change the entire world. For example, Thomas Alva Edison, he invented a bulb, and as a result of it, what we see today, the entire world is benefited because of it. Like for example, the penicillin that was invented by Alexander Fleming, it has caused a change worldwide in giving treatment to the people. So these people are really, really special. They are very, very important for any society. Let us see the next question. Fifth question, how many of them received the Nobel Prize? All of the people have received Nobel Prize. The next, sixth one, who was the first Indian scientist that received the Nobel Prize? Talk about him, her, her field of science. So the first Indian to receive Nobel Prize was Sir C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman was just from a very ordinary family background. His father was a teacher of physics, and this boy had a great interest in the subject right from his childhood. He studied hard, and at the very young age he joined a scientists guild, and thereafter he started doing a lot of research. And he invented Raman effect. He proved to the world that the light changes its nature from when it travels from one medium to another medium. And for doing this experiment, he had arranged equipments which were worth only rupees 200. So just with 200 rupees of equipment, he did an experiment and he received Nobel Prize. So that was his great achievement. He received Nobel Prize. And children, there are a lot of special things about C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman was the first person who was completely educated in India. C.V. Raman was the first Asian to receive Nobel Prize. C.V. Raman was the first non-white person to receive Nobel Prize. So in this way, Raman has done a great thing, and we should all admire it. Right? So with that background, let us start the lesson. I want all of you to turn the page, come to page number 24, where we have given a reading. So let us start it. A reading, read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. On the busy Beau Bazaar street in Calcutta, there was an old building. It was the headquarters of the Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. Now we are in the city of Calcutta in West Bengal, now called as Kolkata. Now it is called as Kolkata. So in Kolkata, in the street with the name Beau Bazaar, there was an old building. And what was that old building? It was the headquarters of the Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. Cultivation of Science means development of science. In December, on a fine evening in 1927, there was much excitement in one of its laboratories. So we are talking about December 1927. Now children, this was the time when we didn't even got independence. So long back, 1927. So there was much excitement in one of its laboratories. Something was going on in the laboratory. What was there? See, Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman was showing a visitor some of his instruments when a young man, K.S. Krishnan, rushed in and announced, Professor Crompton has won the Nobel Prize. Now this is a scene, right? C.V. Raman, he is working in a laboratory. He was showing his equipment to one of the visitors when suddenly this gentleman, who is that? K.S. Krishnan, entered, and he very excitedly announced. What was the announcement? Professor Crompton has won the Nobel Prize. And see the reaction. Raman was equally delighted. Raman was equally delighted. Delighted here means Raman was equally happy. He was also happy. Why? Excellent news. See what he says. Excellent news, he said, smiling at the visitor, and then he was lost in thoughts. But look here, Krishnan. C.V. Raman says, look here, Krishnan, he said, turning to the young man. If this Compton effect is true of X-rays, it must be true of light too. Now that was the conclusion drawn by Sir C.V. Raman. What does C.V. Raman says? Compton is an scientist who received Nobel Prize because he did an experiment on X-rays. Rays, right? There are a lot of rays in sun. So out of one of them is X-rays. So Compton did an experiment on X-rays for which he received Nobel Prize. And immediately Sir C.V. Raman was also very happy. And he immediately thought for a while, if what he said, that is what Compton said about X-rays is true, then it must be applicable to the light also. So that was the conclusion. So what happens, see there? A few years later, A.H. Compton had shown that the nature of X-ray changes when passed through matter. Now that was the experiment done by Compton. What he showed to the world? He showed that when these X-ray, right, when these rays pass through different matter, they change their nature. They change their nature, for which he received Nobel Prize. The change was dependent on the kind of matter. What type of matter are you using? It depends on the matter, and according to different matters, the rays change their nature. Now that was proved by Compton. This effect was called Compton effect. This effect was called Compton effect, and for this in discovery, Compton received Nobel Prize. And here we find that C.V. Raman was equally delighted, and he immediately thought, he understood that if Compton effect is true, if in Compton effect, if the X-ray passed through different mediums, if it changed its nature, then the same must be applicable to light rays also. So what he did, see there, could light also change its nature when passed through a transparent medium? Now that was a question. Immediately C.V. Raman started questioning, could light rays also change its nature when transferred through transparent medium? What is transparent medium? Transparent means something through which you can see. For example, glass. Glass is transparent. We can see from one side to other. Water is transparent. We can see one side to other. So that was the question asked by C.V. Raman. Can the light change its nature when it travels from one medium to another medium? That is, when it transfers through the transparent medium. Now see the answer. That was the question that Raman asked himself. For 5 years he had been doing research in optics. For 5 years he had been doing research in optics. What is optics? The science of light. The science of light. No sophisticated equipment was available in his laboratory. No sophisticated. Sophisticated means advanced, developed. There were no advanced or developed equipments available in his laboratory. But Raman was confident that he could find the answer with some modifications in his equipments. So whatever equipments he had, he did some modifications, some changes in that, and he was able to successfully perform the experiment. Okay, let us see the next paragraph. 4 months later, on March 16, 1928, Raman announced his discovery of new radiation. So he discovered a new radiation describing the behavior of a beam of light passing through a liquid chemical to an assembly of scientists at Bangalore. Now it is called Bangalore. So on 16th of March 1928, Raman finally conducted that experiment. He passed a beam of light through a chemical, and when the beam of light passed through the chemical, it changed its nature, it changed its behavior, and he showed to the entire world that light has a different behavior. The nature of the light changes when it passes through different mediums. So what happens? The world hailed the discovery as the Raman effect. Now when Compton declared that X-rays change their nature when they travel through different medium, it was called Compton effect. Similarly, Raman proved that light changed its nature when it passed through different mediums, and hence it was called Raman effect. It was called Raman effect. The world hailed means praised, applauded. The world hailed the discovery as the Raman effect. For scientific research in this country, it was a red letter day. Now that was a red letter day. What is that day? 16th of March 1928. It was a red letter day. Now what is a red letter day? Red letter day in a calendar always stands for a very, very important day. Right? So this day was very, very important for all scientists. His discovery caught the attention of the world. With equipment worth hardly rupees 200 and limited facilities, Raman was able to make a discovery which won him the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930. Now that's a really, really wonder created by C.V. Raman. See things, children. That is what we have to understand. Raman did experiment with only those things that were available with him. He had no sophisticated, no advanced equipments. He made some small modifications to the equipments available with him and was able to conduct the experiment successfully, for which he received Nobel Prize in Physics. Now that's a really, really great achievement. Let us see the next paragraph. Here we find a little bit background about C.V. Raman. Let us all see what is given there. Raman was born on November 7, 1888 at Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu. His father was a college physics teacher. Oh, now we can understand where did Raman got interest in physics from. So it was because of his father, who was a physics teacher in a college. Now, he was a brilliant student right from the start. When Raman passed his matriculation, his parents were keen to send him abroad for higher studies. But on the medical grounds, a British surgeon advised them against it, and Raman stayed in the country to do MA course at Presidency College in Madras, now called as Chennai. So he was a bright student right from his childhood. After his completion, he wanted to go to abroad. During those times, most of the people, they used to go to London for their higher studies. For example, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, these people were all educated from London, Britain. So even this man wanted to go to foreign country for higher studies, but his health didn't support it, and doctors advised him to stay only in India. So he stayed in India. He completed his post-graduation. He did MA course from Presidency College in Madras. Even this college is there right now also. If you get an opportunity to go to Chennai, just visit this college. You will get a lot of inspiration there. See the next para. Science had already made an impression on him, and he began to write research papers for science journals. Now that is the thing that was happening. He completed his graduation and science had already entered into his mind, and he started writing research papers for Science Journal. When he was only 19, he became a member of the Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. Now that's an important change, children. If you have any hobby, if you have interest in any particular course or things, we should definitely join such clubs or such organizations where you get an opportunity to study more about it. So here, what did Raman do? He became a member of Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. Now, if you remember in the first paragraph, we heard the name of this organization. So he became the member at the age of 19 years, and he continued there, and he also performed his experiment in the lab of the same organization. So let us see further. Meanwhile, respecting his parents' wish, he took up an administrative job in the finance ministry in Calcutta. Now see what is happening. He is a scientist. He should dedicate all his time to science for research. But his parents' wish was different. They wanted him to earn money. So for the sake of, or for supporting his family, he joined a job, an administrative job in the finance ministry in Calcutta. His interest in science, however, did not flag. Did not flag means did not decreased. He used to spend his hours after the office in the lab of the association, working throughout the night. Now see, this was the life of C.V. Raman. In daytime he was working in the office, Ministry of Finance, and thereafter in evenings or late nights he used to spend all his time in the laboratory. In his youth, Raman was mainly interested in acoustics. Now what is acoustics? The science of sound. The science of sound. He studied how stringed instruments like the violin and the sitar could produce harmonious music. So acoustics is the sound of the science of sound. And what was C.V. Raman doing? He was studying number of musical instruments. Musical instruments, which type of musical instrument? Stringed instrument. The instruments in which we have a string. When you pull the string, it produces sound. Like we have guitar. Guitar is a stringed instrument. We have sitar. Sitar is also a stringed instrument. We have violin. Violin is also a stringed instruments. So he was studying on those instruments also. Now what happens thereafter? He was elected to the Royal Society of London in 1924, and the British government made him a Knight of the British Empire in 1929. Now children, here you should keep in mind the period. It was 1929 when India was the colony of Britishers. Right? Britain was the queen of the sea at that time, ruling number of countries all over the world, a very powerful country. And the head of the Britain was a queen, and whoever achieved great heights in their life, they used to become the knights, right? The British government, they used to give them titles, and that is what happened with C.V. Raman also. He was elected to the Royal Society of London. So he became a member of Royal Society of London in 1924, which itself is a very, very great achievement. India was a colony, and an Indian becoming a member of the Royal Society of London was, something very, very great. And the British government made him a knight. What is knight? Knight is a respectable position, right? It's a respectable position of the British Empire. It was a high honor for any great scientist. See the next para. His advice to young scientists was to look at the world around them and not to confine themselves to their laboratories. Now that was the first advice. Don't confine, don't limit yourself to the laboratory. Go around the world, see your surroundings, observe the nature. That was the advice given by C.V. Raman to the young scientists. See further what he says. The essence of science, he said, is independent thinking and hard work, not equipment. My God, such a beautiful statement given by him. Let us look at it once again, children. Very, very important. What he says, the essence of science. Essence means importance, requirement. The requirement of the science is independent thinking. What science need is thinking. We should think first. But what do the present people do? We always say, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do that because I don't have a good laboratory, because I don't have a good instruments, I don't have good equipments. We always keep on complaining about those things which we don't have. Now that is what C.V. Raman said. No, this is not the right way. What he said? The essence of science is independent thinking. Science needs thinkers. We should be able to think, and hard work, not equipment. I think this is a very beautiful statement given by C.V. Raman. Children, all of you should take it to the heart. Remember it throughout your life. Never complain about those things which you don't have. Why? Because C.V. Raman, he got Nobel Prize by working on an experiment for which he needed equipment. And what was the worth of those equipment? Only rupees 200, and 200 rupees of equipment made him get the Nobel Prize. So you should understand the essence of science is thinking and hard work, not equipment. See the last paragraph given there. C.V. Raman was the first Indian scholar who studied wholly in India, completely educated in India, and received the Nobel Prize. He was the first Asian and the first non-white to win such a great award in science. So two things, he was the first Asian. Till that time most of the Europeans received the Nobel Prize. He was the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize. He was the first non-white. Non-white means colored skin people, dark skin people. So previously most of the Nobel Prize they were won by Europeans who were white people, and he was the first non-white person to receive such a great award in science. He passed away in 1970 on November 21. But his memories are with us. February 28th, the day on which he discovered the Raman effect, is celebrated as National Science Day to commemorate his remarkable achievement in science. Now, this is something which we are all very aware, right? 28th of February, every year we celebrate National Science Day. Now that is in commemoration of the wonderful discovery made by Sir C.V. Raman. So he was a great scientist, and at the same time he gave some very good advices to all of us. So children, that is all in this lesson. So that was all about C.V. Raman, the pride of India. Children, it was really a very inspiring story for all the young scientists, people, all who want to become scientists. So keep thinking alone will help you, and it's never the equipment or the surroundings or the other things that are needed. The basic requirement is thinking and hard work. Now that's a very good message these lessons give me. So I hope all of you enjoyed the lesson. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.